as roses for as long as I have it. Now, let's talk about a couple other things. I almost spent this today, and then I looked at it closer. 149, It's a repeater. But generally, for one of these to be worth anything, the repeater has to go across all 8 numbers of the serial number. Now, then I had this one, which is a little bit lower serial number. It would have been nice if it was all zeros to the 44. Hello, Howder coin. This particular silver dollar, I'm going to call it roses for the rest of the time I have it. Now, what else can we talk about? Well, we all know silver took a big dive. So, when I bought this, now it's probably underwater a little bit. And this one, I know, is underwater. And not just a little bit. But silver price will jump around, and we don't know where it's going. And anybody tells you they know it's where it's going exactly is probably wrong. So, this 10-gram one, I'm probably a little, it was $13, so yeah, I'm a little under on it too. These, though, these little fractional ones that a lot of people like to buy these when they can get them cheap enough. I'm probably also underwater on these. But what can you do, you know? And let's talk about what I got today. Why don't we? We can get a whole lot. We do have a few things that are interesting. And that's that. Okay, one of the first things I noticed when I sat down at my coin dealers, I'd seen this in a box a few weeks ago. Now, this is apparently Great Britain coin. Someone wrote gold over here, but and it's a 1/4 Guinea. Let's see, flip this over. It's 1902. A quarter sovereign, if it was gold, this would be a very valuable coin, but coin dealer said it wasn't gold. I don't know. He looked it up and done stuff, but when I first saw it, I pointed it out to him. He goes, gold, because it says gold on the card, which is proof. Anybody can write anything they want on these cards, and you have to know your coin. I will look this thing up later. Hello, Kevin Hawthorne. How you doing? Just going over the fact that I'm underwater on all these silver bars that I bought, and even on this thing, because silver has dropped quite a bit. I mean, what can you really do? All right. This is a collector type coin. You got some seated dimes or half dimes. Look at the date. That's a small date. And it's not worn terribly. 1 dime, United States of America. I did pay quite a bit over melt. This thing would probably melt around $2.50. But it's not a melt coin. It's a collector type coin. However, in this shape, it's kind of like a hole filler. Most people, if they're really collecting these, are going to want one that's a lot higher grade than this. With like full Liberty on it and all the other stuff that goes with it. But it's still a nice coin. I mean, I didn't even know there was a small date version of these dimes. Again, I just flattened these staples. The last thing I bought from him, someone wrote $10 on this. He rewrote the 7. Hello, the barbershop shop, Fiend, and Willie Hay, Youssef. This was $7. It's 720 silver. Its ASW is 0.2315. Is 1 guilder, 1944. So I'm going to go ahead and flatten these staples, and I do recommend you do that when you buy these if they're not already flattened, because your coin, if it's in good shape, especially this one is not really worn real bad. It's Wilhelmina, and like I said, it's 1944, a World War II era coin. I'm not really sure how they were able to strike this. I thought they were occupied, but maybe they struck it after the war. I don't know. I'll have to look it up and see what information I can find. Last time I went live, I had gotten a row of nickels. In the row of nickels, what you want to find, because the mintage is pretty low for this year, are these 2024s, mainly the Denver one, from what I understand. And on eBay, people are paying crazy prices for these. But that's not going to be, and that's not going to be. This one looks pretty old. It's dark, but it's not a war nickel. I just got these from the bank today. I'm going to open them up and start searching them. And most people who do these kind of searches get either a straight screwdriver like this or some other tool and start opening it. Well, that's toning. I guess you could call it patina too, but I mean, it's now 70 years old, I think. Well, let's see, 56 and 25. Well, it's almost 80, I guess. Doing math on the fly is tough sometimes. Okay, what we're looking for besides 2024s in this would be war nickels, if there are any, or maybe an errant buffalo nickel that got thrown into change. I got the box to throw them in, so that's certainly not going to be one, or that one. 2022, 2019, 2020. Oh, if it's a war nickel, it will have a mint right above this dome. 2010. I'll spread these out a little bit more. 2020 looks like a pretty, varied coins in this. 2018, 76, Denver. So far, not too much luck. Close, 2023. But they made a whole lot of 2023s. And I don't know why they only struck so many in 2024s, but 1964 here, they made a lot of nickels that year. 2021, a couple more recent nickels. These aren't doing much so far. Be nice to find a war nickel, or like I said, the 2024 I'm looking for. 2022. Couple more 2022s. 2017. We got about 15 nickels left, give or take. Well, this one's got some darkness on it. What are we talking about? 2020. 2019 on this one. (2006) Denver. All right, that one looks kind of old. 84. 2012, 2020, and 2018. Well, I got about 10 left, give or take. Love one of these to be a 2024 or a war nickel. 1970. I dropped that one, but it was one of the older ones like this. I think this is the one I drew. Well, 2007. 2012. And then we find a sandblasted one. At least that's what it looks like. I think what happened to this is it fell off in someone's yard and it has just taken punishment. Well, none of the rest of these are 2024s. So I didn't have much luck. So that's another row's worth of nickels I'm going to take to the records store and turn them in for a coin for a couple dollars, a couple singles. But yeah, since silver dropped so much, I bought this a few weeks ago when silver was higher. I am underwater on this one by about $5 per ounce, roughly, which kind of sucks, but you always take that risk when you buy silver bars like that when it's silver's $32, $33 an ounce. And then this is 100 gram one I bought several months ago, but silver was over $30. At the time I bought it, 1 gram of 3/9 fine silver was worth $1. I'd have to do some math. I don't think it's quite there. I think I'm a little under on it. It might not be too bad, but yeah, small date. If I had one of these out, I could show you the normal date on this, but I don't have one anywhere real handy. I mean, I'd have to do some digging. I don't know that I really want to. Yeah, this is probably the coin I like the best of the bunch. This one's a collector one. This one was sold at melt pretty much. I did the math and told my dealer the melt was somewhere around 683 with 30 whatever the silver was earlier. But this one does have some nice toning to it. I do have a few more of these I bought last couple weeks that are not this old, and they're a little bit smaller. The newer ones are the same denomination. But let's see if I can find something else to talk about. Some silver coins from around the world. Although it's somewhat ugly. This is a Bahamas, 1974. It's sterling silver and it's almost 1.5 ounces, which I got it at $28, so it's well under melt now. Not that it's being melted. So that's Bahamas, the Netherlands, Mexico. These are kind of neat. Let's see what else is in here. Another Bahamas proof that is sterling silver. This one is, where's the SW? 0.8862 ounces of silver in it. This one's 80%. It has the swordfish on the back. I think that's what it is. Don't think it's the blue marlin, the Philippines, but we made these coins for him. Let's see if there's anything else in here that is a different country than those. Oh yeah, here's one. 5 franc French coin, 835 silver. Should crush these staples, shouldn't I? Get that taken care of. There we go. That'll help that. I think for what I have in this container, that's pretty much the end of the line for different countries in this. Well, except for Canada. I don't think this is a silver one though, but I do have silver Canadian dollars. I think it's a 1-year issue though. It's kind of neat. New Zealand one. I have some New Zealand silver. This one isn't silver, but I thought the design on the back of this is, well, I guess it goes this way. It's pretty neat. Big crown, $1. It's a big size coin, but that doesn't really matter because it's not silver and it's not really worth that much. And then this one's the same kind of design as that other one I just showed you. This $2 one, except it doesn't have Queen Elizabeth on it. Both have the same similar back on them. But this one's copper nickel, not silver. I have a couple examples. Here's another one. These are uncirculated pretty much. I mean, one thing about an uncirculated coin, you can see the mint luster on it. Unfortunately, it does not make this worth much. And I really don't even remember what I paid for them. It wasn't that much. They put them in these bigger cards, which I don't really like, but they're such large coins. This one's kind of neat. It's a 1 Balboa. Older ones are silver. This, not silver. But, I mean, I have Italy and a few other European countries in silver. And this one's kind of neat. I don't know which coin you want to buy flashing, but this one is an un peso from Guatemala. It is an 1896 coin. 90%. It's pretty neat, and in high grade, this thing would be worth a lot more than I ended up paying for it. But if you bought silver in the last few weeks or months or so, you're probably underwater. Like this. It's a 10-gram silver bar. Or these micro bars, which usually these things are a gram a piece. 3/9 fine or sterling. I think the bar is 3/9 fine and the little rounds are sterling. They were made by the Franklin Mint, I think. They do have neat little, I think they're Christmas themes and stuff. Or Revolutionary War era stuff. Kind of neat. And this, you can find these online. I thought when I saw this, the USCG might stand for that's not what it means. And if it's U.S. Coast Guard, it'd be kind of cool, you know, military themed, but it's not. But I'm pretty well done what I was planning on doing tonight. Except for one little thing for another channel that often watch his videos and he watches mine. and we talk about stuff often. Well, this is a sailing ship. It is a ship, not a boat. And I'm going to make that point again. And this peace dollar, until I no longer have it, I'll call it Roses. The Roses peace dollar. Make a good pendant for someone whose name was Rose, but not worth a whole lot. Not in that kind of condition with a hole in it. But these things, 5 troy ounces. First time I saw one like that, my buddy there, the Kansas Kid, and this is his channel, Chip, so go check out him with the Plague Doctor. He does a lot of interesting videos too, so. But when I saw one of them in his video, I commented that it looked about the same size as a Zippo lighter. It's not that far off, really. The bar's a little taller, a little thinner, but about the same thickness almost across. But yeah, being underwater on silver means you don't want to sell it right now. Or at least not them pieces. If you're going to sell some silver, you want to sell something that you bought a long time ago that was cheaper. You know, when you bought it. Stuff you bought when maybe silver was $18, $19. Because some people might want to sell and get out. Because that's just what happens with this stuff. The market can vary at times. Yeah, tell me about it. It fluctuates, as they say. Up and down all the time. And usually every year you get at least one 10% correction. Sometimes you get more than that. Now, either the Australia 51 penny or the half penny, I was told, is a little bit lower mintage. I haven't really looked it up. But that's how big they were making their pennies compared to our pennies. Huge size difference. But I don't know. I got that pretty cheap. Rural coins around here you can buy. One coin dealer, yeah, it's a kangaroo, all right. That's what they put on a lot of their coins, kangaroos. If I had a kangaroo silver piece, it would have a kangaroo on it, very similar to this. They make them in stackers and other ways too, but since silver goes up and down all the time, you can't do a whole lot with it, you know, about that. You can only control what you buy when you buy it. If you think silver's too high, you just don't buy. Unless you're buying it for its weight value, which is how I got the Roses dollar. Yeah, you think of Australia right away when you see a kangaroo or an emu, for that matter. Because some of their other coins have both a kangaroo and an emu on the back of them. But yeah, if this was uncirculated, it would be a collectible item. But since it's circulated, not a whole lot. How's everyone doing tonight? It's been a wild week for the silver market, the stock market. I think gold has held its own a little better than what silver did, but that's just the way gold usually is. It does go up and down, but usually not as much. But I know I've got 24 people watching, only 3 likes. I would like some of y'all to like my video and comment on it if you wish. You know, after I stop going live, which is going to be pretty soon because it's about dinner time here. But yeah, do not think I would sell this one for a while now, because I'm going to sell it at a loss until silver goes back up again. And I'm not really planning on selling it anyway. Same goes with this poured hammer stamped Scottsdale 100 gram. It's about a little over 3 ounces of silver in this one. Smaller than the 5, but that is what it is. Because they make silver bars in all different sizes and shapes. Besides this one being 10, I've seen 5 gram ones. I've seen 2.5 gram, 1 gram, which is what these are. And going bigger, I've seen 2-ounce ones. I've seen some art type bars that started around 3 ounces, 5, 10, whatever. And the art ones that I've seen that were really cool had a big premium, but they were shaped and had really high relief on them. I have a picture somewhere. I think I shared it on my community tag somewhere, on posts, but can't always find it real fast. And since I'm using my phone, if I had it on my phone, I wouldn't be able to show you using my phone. Like some people, they have a camera for this, and then they use their phone to look up stuff while they're doing a video. But since I use my phone to do this, I can't do that. But anybody else have any comments to make before I decide to shut down my stream for tonight? Oh yeah, not only the markets, the weather's been crazy here in the central part of the U.S. Had a couple nights of tornado warnings around here, all over the mid-east actually, or Midwest, I mean, and all the way from Texas all the way up into Michigan. It's been crazy, and we're getting more rain today, but nothing severe. But yeah, what someone did to this, they stamped this, and you can see the crease here. It's bent slightly. So when I lay it on my table and push down on that, if that picks it up, you can hear it. Actually, I do not think I have a silver coin from Hungary. I might have a world coin. I have a bunch of different world coins from all different kinds of countries. But I tend, usually when I'm buying those kind of coins, I usually buy Mexican or Canadian, sometimes British, New Zealand, Australia. Like this one is Australia. But it's a rough market right now, and it might be a while before silver regains anything. And even from where it is now, it could see below $25 before it gets up to 32 or 33 again. That's the silver market. Silver can go up and down quite a bit, as the past week shows us. Scandinavian coins are special. Although the Netherlands really isn't considered a Scandinavian. Where did that go, actually? I just had it here a moment ago. Did I put it in that box? Put roses back down. I think I stuck it in this. Yeah, I did. I stuck it in there. Denmark would be considered part of Scandinavia, I believe. But that would be Finland, Sweden, and Norway mainly. But I'm not sure if Netherlands would really be counted that way. They're Northern Europe of them, the main part. They're right on the northern part, coast, the Baltic Sea and stuff. But yeah, I do like this coin. I wouldn't have bought it otherwise. But like I said, I did not realize that Yeah, I didn't think I would call them Scandinavian, but I do believe a lot of people say Denmark is. But anyway, what can you do? The market goes up, the market goes down. The only thing you can control is what you buy and when you buy it. So when you buy it, if silver's low, it goes up, you could sell some and make money. But most of these things like this that I've bought at melt, like this, it's a melt coin. I don't expect to ever make more than melt for it when I sell it. If melt's higher than when I bought it, then that then I've made a little money. Although it's going to be hard to figure it out with melt coins, because how many do you have? I mean, if you saw my live from the other night, I've got loose junk silver, U.S. stuff, quite a bit of it, and in this little container, a lot of these were bought at or near melt, which this one is just about a third of an ounce, 835 silver. And that's how they degraded their money. They went from 90 or sterling probably, and they dropped to 835. Netherlands went to 720. Mexico went to 720, and then lower. Back in the day, the British was all sterling. Hello, McDonald Boyan. Tell me what you know about, where is that thing? Where did I stick that? It was right here a moment ago. Did I put that in here too? Oh, here. We'll show you the back first. Oh, I got it upside down. 1902. On the front, it says Great Britain. Have a look at that. And someone wrote gold. My coin dealer said it wasn't gold. And by the way, when I bought this in this, and I had this to buy, he gave me this for absolutely nothing and charged me $20. He said $20 even for it. So if this is any bit collectible of any sorts, yeah, I don't know what this is really. I'm gonna have to look it up. What's Edwards 7? I don't think it's Australian or Canadian. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna have to do some research and see what we really have here. So we'll just go ahead and flatten these staples in the event this is actually somewhat collectible. And my coin dealer made a little mistake for letting me have it for nothing. I mean, I saw it a couple, 3 weeks ago in a big box of foreign coins he had. Most of them were just copper, nickel, and copper and junk. And he said, this one, someone wrote gold on it. I said, hey, someone wrote gold on this. And he goes, what? He said he had to look it up. I guess he didn't find anything. And he might have tested it using a sigma, but if it's not a certain percentage of gold, it probably wouldn't test right. But someone wrote this here, 1/4 Guinea size. I don't know what it means. You've never seen that portrait before. Well, McDonald Boyan, I think you would probably know better than me your kings and portraits. But, I mean, it has a golden color to it, but is it really gold? If it's really gold, then my coin dealer made a mistake giving it to me for nothing. But I think he couldn't find it. I want to do a Google search. And since it says quarter Guinea size, I don't know what that means. It's kind of small. I mean, that's a Panama 1 centesimal or uncentesimal. So it's about the size of a half dime. US half dime, which are pretty small. But what else can we talk about? Let's just take a little stroll over here. I've listed about 5 different countries I have some coins for in this little collection. I can show a few more. And since I've already showed different sizes of silver bars, yeah, I'm going to try New Mista and see what they say. I showed the 5 ounce, 100 gram, a 10 gram, and 1 gram ones. The most common are 1 ounce, like this one. It's a Morgan dollar on it, 1 ounce silver. A lot of people buy these. But one thing you can't buy very many of is these art bars, like this one. Just right on top, that says 0409. It's got a dark toning to it. It's America the Beautiful bar. And the Kansas Kid has a book. Hamilton Mint, I believe, made these. He has a book that tells you different art bars and on the vintage ones and how many they made. Well, for these, they made 10,000 each of these particular art bars. Same goes with this Old Faithful one. That one's America the Beautiful, and this one is Wonders of America. I have an ancient coin or two around here somewhere, but I don't know where they are really. Or they might be in the vault. This one is gold plated. And it looks like someone tried to remove the gold, which is unfortunate. And because the gold plated ones, they made 5,000 each issue. And the Everglades has the alligator and some vegetation and stuff you might see in the Everglades. It's neat. These little art bars are a different shape. They're an ingot shape and they're a little bit thicker. It's not a lot, but it weighs out at the proper weight. Let's see, what can we talk about elsewise? Since I got a good audience. For US coins, these are kind of ancient. US wasn't around very long when they made this. It's 200 years old now. So it's pretty early in the United States history. It's a neat coin. This 1831's in better shape though. It's a little worn and stuff, but you can see the pretty good difference in the detail on the reverse here than what this one is. So they went from these cap bust half dollars series. Well, they did flowing hair ones first, but they're pretty pricey. Now this particular one is a seated Liberty half, but it has a carving on the back. Unfortunately, someone scratched the date up so bad that it does have a little hole drilled in it. Not very big though. but someone took the time to carve this on the back. Presented to Miss Effie Reese by the Sunday school superintendent. And I can't read that. I can't make out what that name is. It's neat. Maybe they got it for being the best student in the class. I don't know. But so I will be researching this thing and seeing what I can come up with. And I might take it to a different coin dealer and see what he can come up with. Because if this thing's something like, say, 80% gold or less, it'd be somewhat valuable. Probably be well over $100 if it's gold. But like I said, if it isn't gold, this proves these people will write anything on your coin to make you think it's gold or not. Someone marked it out, but who really knows? But I will tell you one thing. If you ever run across a gold-plated coin, the gold plating does not add up to much. It's very thin. And this bar is gold-plated. And it even tells you right on the side of it, 24K EGP. And it's 0975. So 975 is the number of the bar. A magnet up to what thing? It's not going to stick to this silver bar. You mean this? It doesn't stick to it. And a silver, silver, it shouldn't stick to it. Yeah, I don't know if it's, I don't think it really is, but I'm going to have to see what it really is. It might have a collectible value to it, but it's not magnetic. It doesn't stick to it. It does stick to the staple, but that's typical. It's a strong enough magnet to hold that at least. But we will do some research. You actually bought a fake eagle this week that was gold plated. Well, Littlefoot, I hope you, you replaced it? Well, good. You've been out quite a bit otherwise. And that would be bad. I hate to see people buy something expensive and then find out it's not worth anything. I never even wondered if the metal that they make these out of is magnetic. Well, yep, it is. Could have been aluminum. It wouldn't be. That's a sound that I heard all the time when I was a kid. This is a vintage. If I remember correctly, this tells me it was from 1950, I think 5 till 1979. They used this particular logo. They changed the way it is, and then after that, and there was a different one before it too. But I've been on for 45 minutes. I think that's a nice tidy amount of time to tell everyone to have a really good night. I could go live tomorrow. I do have a list on this paper that lists off all the countries of the world, alphabetical. And Australia is probably the first one on here that I have a silver coin from. I have an Argentina coin, but I don't think it's silver. I have the Bahamas. There's a silver coin or two from them. God, there's a lot of countries in the world. The next one I probably have is Canada. I do have Cuban coins, although they're down at the bottom. I have some Chilean coins that are 50% silver. So I gotta compile my list, get get to the vault, pull out some of the world silver coins I have, and make a video and check off the countries. And then when I go out to buy at a coin show or coin dealers, I can look them up and see if there's a country I need. But anyway, I hope everyone has a really good night, because it's pretty much all I have. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.